Hey gorgeous, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So today I have a speed build for you guys and I'm actually building a completely new house for the Goth family in my save file. So I actually started working on this save file a couple of weeks ago and I have already built quite a few lots, which unfortunately I did not record, but I will definitely tour those builds in another video. So I wasn't originally planning on doing YouTube videos for The Sims, but I started to become like really passionate about this little save file that I'm doing, and I thought, you know what, it might be fun to just share it. Maybe there's anyone who wants to see it. Would be nice to kind of get in touch as well with people who play this game. So yeah, that's actually the reason that I am now recording this video for you guys. So anyway, about this build, like I just said, it's the new house for the Goth family. I actually decided to move them to a different lot, still in the same neighborhood, but their original house was built on quite a small lot. And I felt like they deserved better. They're such an iconic family in the Sims franchise. So yeah, just building a bigger lot for them would make sense, as well as in their previous house they didn't have any room for a backyard, and in all the previous games the Goth family had a graveyard or a cemetery in their backyard, and I wanted to incorporate that in this build as well. So I am actually building a Victorian home, and more specifically a Queen Anne style house. And I have to be honest with you guys, I was really struggling coming up with a color scheme. Because when you think of the Goth family, you think black and dark colors and a dark exterior. Like all their houses were super creepy looking and super gothic looking. But in my opinion, that black house in this neighborhood just stuck out like a sore thumb. And as well, if you look at Victorian houses, a lot of them are actually super colorful, especially the Queen Anne style Victorian house. Like the exteriors are usually like a bright pink or a bright blue or a bright yellow. I'm so sorry, I can't speak. By the way, I'm from the Netherlands, so English isn't my first language, so I might be struggling there a little bit as well, but I'll do my best. Anyway, so yeah, bright color schemes. But that, of course, didn't really suit the Goth family. So in the end, I kind of settled on a muted brown, dark-ish exterior. So kind of meeting in the middle. As you can see, I'm darkening the exterior a little bit here. I just felt that looked a little bit better and it suited the Goth family a little bit better as well. Right now the roof is actually a really gross brownie color, which I will change in the very, very last minute to a green that kind of matches the trim. The roof trim, or how do you call like the ornaments below the roof? I'm not really sure how you call it. Is it like a frieze? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with these kind of architectural terms. So let's talk about the save file then. My save file is actually going to be in an alternate universe. So I'm actually rolling with the original idea that the Sims 4 had, but I'm just going to improve it. I hope, at least I'm going to improve it. So if you don't know, all the previous Sims games have been in a specific chronological order, if you will. So if we look at the Goth family, you have Bella and Mortimer Goth. In The Sims 3, they were children, and then the first Sims game came along and they were adults, and then in The Sims 2, Mortimer Goth is actually an elder and Bella Goth is disappeared. So the idea was that she was abducted by aliens, and they're kind of blaming the Calientes for it, or Don Lothario. It's kind of a mystery who is behind her disappearance. But there's also this really wild theory that Mortimer Goth is behind her disappearance. So I really love reading all these different theories about what happened to Bella Goth, and I would have liked if The Sims 4 could have given us a little bit more in terms of the lore behind these Sims characters, but they didn't. So actually The Sims 4 was set on an alternate timeline, like I just mentioned, and my save file will be as well, but I'm just going to do what The Sims 4 team did not, which is actually creating interesting storylines for these characters. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Marvel show, the What If show. So basically this is also based on the idea that there's a multiverse, and if anything changes in the timeline, this could set a chain of events in motion and the future would look completely different. So in this alternate future, actually it wasn't Bella Goth who got abducted by aliens. It was actually Mortimer Goth, who got abducted by aliens. And if you don't know, in The Sims, when a male Sim gets abducted by aliens, they might get impregnated. So that's also what happened to Mortimer, and now they have an additional child in their family who's going to be an alien. She's going to be a little toddler, and I named her Alexia, which I thought was a really cute name, and it kind of fits with the names of the children that they already have. So they have Alexander and Cassandra, and then now also little Alexia, which I thought was really nice. So like I also just mentioned briefly about the graveyard in the backyard, I'm also going to try and make all of the ancestors of the Goth family. So I'm talking about Cornelia and Gunther Goth, who are the parents of Mortimer, and his aunt, which is Prudence Crumplebottom. I don't know all of their names by heart, believe it or not, but I will be looking them up on like the Sims wiki or something, and I'll try and make them all to have their own gravestones in the backyard, and then they will be haunting the house, which I think would just be a really nice touch for the family and really suited. And by the way, actually, I don't think you'll be seeing it in this video at all. You might catch a glimpse. Actually, they are living across from a cemetery. So, oh yeah, you can see it there. Sorry, it's going so quickly. They live across from a cemetery, which I built. I set it up as like a national park, and right now I use all the vampire gravestones as placeholders, but I will be filling those up with like actual gravestones. And I kind of like the idea that if your Sims visit that lot at night, it might be haunted or something. I think that would just be really a nice touch for The Sims 4, really to update the game, because maybe you didn't know, but when The Sims 4 was just released, they were missing actually a lot of features that we had in previous games. So for example, there weren't any family trees, there weren't any ghosts, we didn't even have pools or toddlers. These were all patched in at a later date, which is a bit annoying because at the time it felt like they just released and sold a game that was not finished at all. But I'm glad that we have all these features now, but that means that all the default base game townies are lacking these features still. So the Goth family doesn't have any ancestors in this game, whilst in all the previous games they did. They don't really have any in-depth storylines about them. So I just really want to update that. And I do have a couple of more fun ideas for some other townies that I will be moving in to Willow Creek. I think I will be moving the land grabs, for example, to Willow Creek, and I'm going to reintroduce the Alto family. Of course, I will also move the Calientes to Willow Creek. So yeah, I'm just really excited about that. So yeah, now we're talking about Willow Creek. The idea that I have for this neighborhood is it's going to be based on New Orleans, which I believe is actually the original idea of the Sims team anyway, but I just wanted to roll with it and make the houses a little bit more detailed. If you look at all the all the base game houses, usually, well, obviously they only have the base game items. They don't have any items of the packs. But also they're just really sparsely decorated because they need to be able to run on lower end PCs. So in my save file, I'm sorry, I will be using all of the packs because I have them and I paid for them and I want to use them. And essentially I'm just making this save file for myself to play with. But I thought I would share it with you guys if you're interested to see. Also, by the way, what you're seeing me doing here is kind of creating this custom mantle for the fireplace. Because I was actually looking on YouTube at a lot of original Victorian house tours. I don't know if you know this channel, but I think they're called Restoration Nation, and it's such a cool channel. Like, they made me obsessed with Victorian houses, and all of these Victorian houses have like these really, really cool fireplace mantles. So I tried to incorporate that in this house. So I put like a shelf above them and kind of make it look like a built-in unit, if you will. So that might be a little bit of a fire hazard. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't happen that often in The Sims 4 that your fireplaces catch on fire, whereas in previous Sims games, I would never use a fireplace because, you just know that your entire house will catch on fire and it's like a whole disaster. So yeah, actually right now the formal parlor, if you will, is coming along really nicely. So this is like a super fancy house. So they have like a formal parlor and they have an official sitting room and a dining room and a study, and upstairs they'll have all the bathrooms. But I feel like in a lot of Victorian houses, if you look at the floor plans, they often have a formal parlor, and they also have like a pretty grand entryway with like a big staircase that and it has like a cutout to the below. So I also put that in this house, and I think you have already seen me building it. But yeah, you'll see it later as well, and in the screenshots, obviously. So by the way, I want to quickly apologize. I did not realize how much I'm constantly twisting and turning my camera when I'm building in The Sims. So basically what I do, first of all, I'm a pretty slow builder, and I just really like to just admire my work constantly, which is super embarrassing. I'm so sorry. And so I place something down and I just look at it from like 10 different angles. Like, do I really like this item? And, which is fine if you're not recording your builds. But I realized that if you're recording, it's a little bit annoying if you're going to speed up this footage. So as you can see right here, I skipped ahead in the kitchen because I have no idea what I was doing there. So, but it was really, the complete footage was completely unwatchable there. So I just had to cut it out, but you will be seeing it in the screenshots anyway. By the way, if you want to download this house, you can. My origin idea is... did I say idea? Yeah, I did. ID. My origin ID is Bria Sims YT. So you can look for Bria Sims YT and you'll be able to find this house as well. Just want to let you know that this house is completely play tested. So you won't be running into any issues when you load it into your game. However, a lot of my previous builds are not play tested. For example, you'll also find the Willow Creek Cemetery that I built. That one is not play tested, and it has one of them vampire gates, like the large gates, and I put them right on the edge of the lot. So actually, I'm not sure if that works, and I will be testing that. If I find out that it doesn't work, I will take it down and I will re-upload it to the gallery. But just be aware of that. If it doesn't work, obviously it's also going to be a pretty easy fix, but I just want to make you aware that this house is play tested, but not all of my builds, and especially not my older builds in The Sims, because I would say that, you know, I love playing The Sims. I love doing gameplay, but essentially I'm a builder. That's the thing that I love doing the most in this game. And, you know, sometimes I'm just working hours and hours on a build and I just can't be bothered to play test it, and I just upload it and I'm like, you know what, if anyone runs into any problems, I'm sure it's an easy fix. So I'm really sorry. I'll pay more attention to playtest my houses, as well as not turning the camera around as much. So yeah, so here you can see I am working on the sitting room, which in my opinion, I'm not 100% sure what is actually the difference between like a formal parlor and a sitting room. I kind of like the idea of the sitting room being like a family room, but in this case, I also didn't really want to put like a TV because I feel like that doesn't really suit the Goth family so well. Oh, another thing that I wanted to quickly discuss is that I put in archways, especially on the ground floor. I only used archways. So if you look at traditional Victorian houses, most of the rooms are separated by pocket doors, but we don't have any pocket doors in The Sims 4, unfortunately. So we just kind of have to pretend that maybe these archways have pocket doors in them, but they're currently open. I thought it would just look the nicest. And also for gameplay, having archways just ensures that you have more of an easy flow in your house, like your Sims can route more easily, if that makes sense. So that's why I chose the archways, and I really, really love these Strangerville archways, which, by the way, I bought that pack solely for the archways and the windows and the doors. They are so, so good, and I can honestly say that I have not played in Strangerville once, not one single time. I'm not interested in playing the story. When it was released, I did watch a couple of YouTubers, so I already know how the story is going to end, and I see no point in, you know, playing through that storyline myself. And I was also really, really disappointed that the mother did not turn out to be Bella Goth. Just saying, spoilers, I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, here you see me doing the upstairs hallway with the little cutout to the below, and I just really, really love how that entrance turned out in this house. I feel it's so traditional and just really grand looking. And here you see me building the bedroom for Mortimer and Bella. So I went with this vampire's bed. I actually used the vampire's pack quite a bit in this build because, you know, for obvious reasons, it has like a really, really nice Victorian aesthetic, if you will. And this bed especially, I feel like it suited the Goth family just really, really well. So in total, this house has 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and one of the bathrooms is actually a little bit funny. By the way, you've seen me doing the downstairs bathroom, but I've cut out the rest of the bathrooms. One of the bathroom was originally going to be a Jack and Jill bathroom, but then in the end I decided to put the door to the hallway as well. So that bathroom has like 3 doors into it, which realistically would be a little bit annoying if you have to go to the bathroom and you have to lock 3 doors, before you can do your business. This is Cassandra's bedroom. I wasn't really sure of how I wanted to make her bedroom anyway. She's not really like a pinky girly girl, but I still really, really like this wallpaper, and I didn't want to use the same wallpaper in this house over and over again, and I hadn't used this one yet, which, by the way, that bed here is like one of my favorite beds. It's so good. I want it in real life. Like I said, this house just really made me obsessed with Victorian styles, and now I want my own Victorian haunted house, which is a bit unfortunate because I live in the Netherlands and we don't have many Queen Anne haunted mansions. Don't get me wrong, we have a lot of old buildings, and I mean old, like way before the Victorian era. But you know, those typical Queen Anne style mansions that I think of, you'll find those in the United States, but not really in the Netherlands. So this is Alexander's bedroom, which is a little bit darker. And he kind of has a pretty cool bedroom because it's in the semi-tower. And of course, Alexia's bedroom as well. I always struggle with kids' bedrooms in The Sims 4. I used to have this really nice CC pack. I think it's called Tiny Travelers. And I really, really like that because we're just severely lacking in kids content for The Sims. Even with all the packs, like I just never really know what to do with those rooms. So as you can see, I kind of split up the room between the area where the baby sleeps and the area where how do you call it? I'm sorry, I forgot the words, but where you can like change their diapers and stuff, which that isn't actually functional, but I thought it's just like a nice decoration. So yeah, we're actually nearing the end of this speed build. Lastly, I'm just doing the attic here. There isn't really anything special, but I thought a typical Victorian house would have like an attic. So you just see me placing down like a bunch of random stuff really, and as well as some vampires' water stains and cracks and holes and whatnot. I just thought that just added a little bit of realism, as you would find those things in like older houses. So yeah, last thing here, I'm changing the roof to like a greeny color, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really hate that brown color, but I definitely think the green makes the build just look a little bit more neat. So here you can see it. Yeah. So that, anyway, is the build. Oh no, I'm just placing a couple of roof details. So here we have the screenshots of the outside. So anyway, I am going to leave this voiceover right here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!